And we're live. All right, hi everybody. Welcome to Turning Your Dream into Reality. We've got Sean Thunder back with us.
Hey.
As you remember, he's got some awesome tidbits and content for you. Hopefully more of that'll come today. Sorry we're a little late starting. We had some last minute items come up that we had to fix. But we're here now. So with that, I guess we're going to start showing you how to, get going.
Yeah, thanks so much. And I'm really excited you're sitting next to me. usually Colby's like in the background, wearing like a helmet or something. So I'm really excited that he's sitting next to me as we get things going today. So what we're going to be talking about today is really basic stuff. And I'm not telling you if you're a hardcore programmer or if you do design for a living, and you already know all of the internet stuff, like to turn away. But it's going to be basic stuff. We're going to be talking about the first 3 steps to getting your business online. And really, it's not just getting it online. What I'm interested in is giving people the first 3 steps to just moving forward with their idea. Yeah. Like if you've got a great idea and there's something that you want to do, I find that sometimes you just need a little bit of a catalyst, and you need to know what the first thing to do is. Yeah. And so that's what we're going to be chatting about today.
That's awesome.
Right on.
Like, oh, where do I start?
Yeah, no, dude, I was totally like that, and I don't think I use this example in the presentation. If I do, I apologize, but it's kind of like it's always making excuses, right, for things. I've got crooked pinkies. Right? They're really, I can't believe now everybody knows. Everybody, look, Sean's got really screwed up pinkies, and I always use it as an excuse to like not play guitar, or not learn the piano, or not be really great at typing even, right? And okay, it's my pinkies, right? That's the problem, or my pinkies. But I know that if I would have just sat down, and if I would have just started that first song, right? Even if it was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, or Yellow Submarine, or something really simple, like step by step, I'm able to do it. I run the same problem anybody else does, where I think, oh no, I have crooked pinkies. I can't do any of this stuff because all that stuff seems really huge. It seems really, really big, and it's not. I think that starting a business, launching your idea, freelancing, working for yourself, starting a nonprofit. I've talked to too many people that did it with far less than what I have, and far less than what many of you had. They pulled it off just because they took those first initial steps.
That's awesome.
So. Very cool. All right, I'm going to switch over. Let's get over to the slide deck as we get going. Okay, so the first 3 steps. Oh, I've got my fancy mouse on. Are we good? We got the slide deck up.
We're good.
Right on. So the first 3 steps. You started your marathon, or you started your marathon training. What do you do next? And really, by the end of this, I want people to feel like they can. This is a lovely picture, but they want to feel like they can. Be successful, that they can go out there and accomplish something, even if it's just initial, right? Just bragging rights that you started something big. As Colby mentioned, I'm Sean. I work here at GoDaddy. I've been at GoDaddy a long time because I've had the opportunity, the pleasure, I've been blessed to work with small businesses over and over and over again and see them become successful. And what I want to say to the ones that are watching today, any of you that have started a small business or started putting something together, thanks. Because I think that that's like truly, truly heartfelt. This isn't lip service. I think that starting anything on your own, whether you're writing, whether you're doing music, whether you're starting just that sci-fi coffee shop down the street, I think that that's a courageous act, and that is something that listen, it takes a lot of guts. And I really appreciate people that do it because I think it makes the world a better place. All right, so this is what we're talking about today. We are talking about actually short story here. You like this, Colby, and you might actually know who he is. So a really good friend of mine, ultra marathoner. He when I first started running, I was learning how to run like 5Ks and 10Ks and things like that.
Yeah.
And as I was learning how to run 5Ks and 10Ks, I got really excited. So I started talking about running. Started telling people about running and started saying, "Oh, everybody, I'm a runner. I run 3 miles. I'm so good." And I had this one guy walk up to me and say, oh, I got this great idea for you, man. 50 miles. I was like, what? Right? I'm slowly eating my steak and looking forward to the ice cream coming. He's like, it's the best thing in the world. Run 50 miles. And he starts handing me race reports and things like that. Now, this guy, for some reason, he just doesn't have that click part of his brain that when he sees where we are, like on a mountain range, like he sees just how big the goal is, like how huge it is. For some reason, it doesn't click to him to think like, oh, that's really a big deal.
Yeah.
Like that's really scary, or there's no way I can pull that off, or I need to start training efficiently. Now, this guy, for some reason, just, nope, I'm going to do it.
No task is too big.
Here we go. Yeah. So this picture here that we have we are here and where we're going.
Yep.
This guy would basically say, okay, I'm just going to grab the knapsack, and that's it. Tally ho, here we go. Who wants to go with me?
Huh.
And that's kind of what I'm not telling anybody not to, I think not to plan. You should certainly plan and try to plan for the right thing.
Especially if you plan on running 50 miles.
Especially if you plan on running 50. Don't do that, right? This guy's crazy, man. But I do want to get us moving forward, because it's like anything. When you train for a marathon, when you train like to play the piano or something like that, you start off very, very simple. When I first started training, I did eventually run 50 miles, but when I first started training, I walked. Right, I remember going out and I walked for 30 minutes, and then the next day I walked, and then I ran for a minute and a half or for 2 minutes, and that's what it is. It's just a bite at a time. I don't know. Have you ever read Shel Silverstein before? Do you remember that? Like Where the Sidewalk Ends.
It's been a long time, but yes.
Okay, I'm buying you a book. Yeah, just so you can sit quietly at your desk and read children's poems. But this is one I wish I could share over and over and over again with anybody starting something new.
Yeah.
I think it's Melinda May is her name, and this is the tale of Melinda May that ate an enormous whale.
Okay.
Right? And the point of the poem was that she said she was going to do it, and everybody said, okay, you're crazy. Like there's no way you can eat a whale.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up picture on it was. In 99 years, right?
Okay.
She ate the whale, and it says in there like she took little bites, she chewed very. Now, listen, I don't think it would probably take that long. At 99 years, I admire her dedication. You know what? This picture makes it look like she has 4 eyes too. They kind of come down, which is kind of creepy.
It does actually.
Yeah, I must have done something to it. I apologize to Shel Silverstein for making the 99-year-old woman have 4 eyes. Yeah. But the point being, it's a step at a time, and that's what we'll go over. So today we're going to time this out. We're going to time it out so that it's basically a step a day. So it's not overwhelming. It's not crazy. I was talking to a buddy of mine. We had this really great idea for him to start this blog and write a book about starting like a tattoo shop, right?
Yeah.
So I've never seen a book that says like, hey, here are the ins and outs for inking, right, and putting something together. But immediately he thought the same thing. Like, there's no way. Like, that's too big. There's no way I could do it. And so we're sitting there. We're outside, relaxing, in the 90-degree weather that Arizona has to offer. And as we're relaxing, I said, okay, just tell me what the first chapter would be about.
Yeah.
So that's day one, right? Like the first day, first thing to do, and then the next day, and then the next. So we're going to talk about basically just 3 days, 3 separate things that we're going to go over.
And that kind of goes with a lot of industries. A lot of people would probably feel that way about their small business. Like,
oh,
hey, there's
man.
a lot of niche things out there. Like, no one's written a book on how to get started for, my custom crafts business. Or
I totally agree. Yeah, I think, listen, writing especially, like putting together a book, sitting down and doing these things for some reason just like seems to be the hardest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
And any writer you talk to, there's a really great book. It's called Daily Rituals, How Artists Work. And this writer, I got to find out what the author's name is, but this writer, what she did was she analyzed all these different artists, all these different writers, and she figured out like exactly what their daily ritual looked like.
Yeah.
And writers that we know, writers that we even know about but have not read because their book is so thick, We're like, one of these days, War and Peace, right?
We'll be 99, just like in
I know. We'll be 99. Like, we think, like, oh, yeah, I'm totally going to do it. Or Infinite Jest or Ulysses or something, right? These big ones that we know we need to read. You find out that their daily ritual when they would write would be, like, no more than 2,000 words.
Oh.
And listen, I know that even sounds like a lot, but take it from somebody that has written 2,000 words to me. I'm like, that's all that you wrote?
Yeah.
Like, that's all that you did. And they would spend 2 hours, they would write, and then they would go, live life in Paris or whatever. But it's just a little bit at a time. That's how you do it, to knock it out. Yeah. Just a little bit at a time.
That explains why writers have so much time now. I get it.
That's not nice. I get it. Colby's going to look up from his desk. So, what's Funder doing today? Nothing. No, yeah. All right, so day one. Day one, we're going to talk about naming your gig. So that will be basically coming up with the name of your business, the name of your place. We'll talk about some different options with that and different types of people that name their business. Day two will be setting up your email. Now, I know there's going to be people watching this going, oh, I see what you're doing now, right? You want me to set up email. Do you
Shameless plug.
Right. Do you provide said email? We do. But I'll explain why I put that down as day two. It's one of those little legitimate wins that when talking with a lot of different people, a lot of entrepreneurs, it seems to be one of those first things that gets them really, really excited. And so that's why we're going to be talking about that. And then day three is publish website. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to say, publish a website in one day. That's going to be completely crazy. So
I just want to let you know, back to the Daily Rituals book you talked about. It's How Artists Work by Mason Curry.
Yeah, you guys, it's so great. It's such a great book. In fact, I think she even has two different versions of it, not versions, a sequel, right, or a prequel. I don't know which one it is. Maybe that's the first, maybe that's the second. But it's fantastic, and you should read it. It's really, really great. So thanks for that. We get that from CJ?
Yeah, CJ.
Hey, CJ, thank you so much. All right, cool. Well, let's get plugging. Day one, name your gig. And so the first day, listen, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people. No, I don't. I remember growing up that I would have friends that would know what they were going to name their kids.
Okay.
Did you have that growing up?
I still have some of those.
Yeah, I still have. Right? Oh, mine are old. They're like, I already did it. No, they knew exactly, like when they were 12.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna name my daughter Madison, right, or something.
There was always some weird reason for it too back then.
Yeah, and they had it down. Like they knew what they were gonna do. And I remember thinking, how in the world can you know what you're gonna name your kids? Like I figured, like you look at them and then go, okay, I think I can come up with something now. But it's hard. Like for most people, it's difficult. Now there are some small business owners, and I've met some that they've got it down. They know, right? They know this is going to be the name of my business because it's related to my grandmother, and my grandmother quilted, or my grandmother made different things.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to be. But for a lot of us, like we struggle with it. Like we're trying to always come up with something that's going to work. Listen, these are the most popular children's names right now. So 2014, Olive, Isabella, and Aria. E is a popular children's name, which is
interesting.
Which is kind of cool, to be perfectly honest. But you buy the books, you pull through the books, and then you get paralyzed. I did. We were so paralyzed, in fact, that I think it was my second son. Wow, that sounds crazy because it's like my seventh son and a large So we didn't know what we were going to name him, like at all.
So it just happened like you saw him and was like, that's it?
No, it didn't happen like that.
Okay.
We went home and didn't know. Like we went home and I was like, I got no idea. Like I don't know what to name him. She didn't know what to name him, and so then for the longest time, we just called him Dude Funder, which would have been legit, right?
How long was the longest time? I just have to ask.
It's like
on for like a week or 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because they start to make you feel like you're breaking the law if you don't.
Okay.
Like the hospital just keeps calling because it's somebody's job to record it.
Yeah.
And they've got this blank thing that they see every day. But my point is, like, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard coming up with a name. And even when you finally do come up with a name for your business, and you're totally proud of it, you're totally excited about it, like, yes, this is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Then you go to register the domain name for it, right? And when you go to register the domain name for it, it's like dreams gone,
Yeah.
right? Because you followed the tips, right? The naming tips, and I'm not the only one that has come up with these. I've seen these over and over again. Entrepreneur Magazine just published an article about this, and things to remember when naming your business. You want to make it short. You want to make sure that it's repeatable, that people can say it over and over and over again, and you want to make it unique. So something that not somebody else has. Yeah. And this is why, like, if you have a really unique last name, go for it. Like, throw it in. Like, make something with it. But outside of that, maybe going with Smith something isn't the right thing to do, or Anderson. Those are just names that are not as unique as they could be.
Yeah.
I mean, short and repeatable. Think about the ones that are even made up that we know, that we say all the time now, like Google,
yeah,
right, or Yahoo,
Yelp.
That's like something a dog does. Like when you like, it's like,
it totally.
Oh,
is.
I'm sorry, I closed the door on your tail. Yelp. Yeah, but they're repeatable. They're things that we remember over and over and over again. And so you want to make sure that you get those in play. But then once you end up going after, this is where it gets really, really dicey. Come up with a great name. Come up with something that totally works. And then go to register it, and that's where you're going to run into some issues.
What about the .com?
What about the .com? Yeah.
And for those in the audience, if you guys have some weird stories or anything you'd like to share on how you came up with your business name, love to hear it. So feel free to comment and post on there. We're looking out for those too.
Yeah, well, and plus you'd be sharing it with everybody else. Like, how do you come up with a domain name? I mean, not how do you come up with a business name? I think we've gotten into the habit now because of the .com, and people wanting to get a unique .com. Like, you have to, right?
Yeah.
Like, we have a lot of businesses that end up having like locations tagged onto the end of it. It's been pretty common.
Those new GTLDs should help with that some too.
Oh, it's gonna be rad. I'm glad you brought that up. This is the coolest thing. This is the coolest thing. So this is the coolest thing I know right now, and lots of people know about it. Lots of nerds know about it. But I want to make sure that the people watching, listening, people that are coming to it know about it as well.
Yeah.
Because you now it feels like a secret. Because when people find out about it, they're like, how come nobody told me? And we've been shouting about it for a little while now. But you can totally get a short, easy-to-remember name that fits your business. Like for the internet, an actual domain name. Because of what Colby mentioned, they're called GTLDs. They're new domain name endings. And listen, there are 700 of these new domain name endings coming on, online, like into the market.
Now, some are here now.
Some are here now. Yeah. In fact, here's even an example to make sure that everybody kind of gets a general idea of what this means.
Yep.
So when we say domain name ending, what we're talking about is the replacement of the .com or the .net or the .org at the end of a domain name. So I could have, in this case, I got like .bike, .biz, .black Friday, .menu, .mobi, .museum, .name, .ninja. I don't think WTF made the list here, but it is one. It is, and it's available. Yeah, all of these different ones are available for your business. So I was talking to a photographer in Florida that had a pretty long domain name that had the word photography in it. It had her name in it. So nice long domain name, and she was really proud of it because she had gotten the .com. I show her this, she sees that she can get .photography, and just changes it to her name, .photography, and that's it. And she's very, very, very happy with it because what does it do? Is it makes it easy for people to see just at a glance
what you do.
It's
a whole new level of branding.
Yeah, a whole new level of branding moving forward. Have you gotten any of these yet?
I have. I got .training actually.
You got a .training.
I got a .training because the nerd in me came out. I got Saiyan .training. So little ode to Dragon Ball Z there. Dead serious.
Dragon Ball Z .training. Yeah, I really like that. I need to get a. I wanted to get a .ninja. I wish I lived in New York. Because .nyc is coming online, which is really, really cool too. Which I totally love. I ran into a a pickle website that used .nyc, which is really cool.
That's really cool.
It just makes it really easy to see. Now, this brings up a huge question with a lot of people I talk about. They're like, well, previously, what I would do to protect my brand or protect my business from somebody else getting in a domain name like it, is I would buy what we affectionately refer to as the stack, which was you would get .com, .net, .org, you get those in play, and then you're kind of protected, right? Now it's okay. What do I get, right? If I've got all of these available, like is McDonald's going to buy McDonald's.plumbing, right?
Yeah.
And getting them all together,
Flights.
or McDonald's.flights. Best flight ever. There's like a ball pit in the back and everything.
It's their new in-flight menu.
It'd be great if you got McDonald's.flight, you were there, and then you didn't eat McDonald's when you're on the flight. Golden arches. So that's a big question. Like, which ones should I get? Which ones would be the right ones for me? Now, listen, I think right now, because this is new, we could totally change what we're saying about this in a little while, or change our opinion on it. But right now, it's just whatever makes sense. So if I'm starting a running club, we keep coming back to running, which is good because I always talk about food. It's better to talk about running right now. If I'm starting a running club, what do I want to get for that club? What are my options that I could put together for it? And like I could go training, I could go shop. It just depends on what it is that I'm going to be putting together and what I'm going to be doing with it. And there's kind of on GoDaddy.com, if you go there and you look at the different ones that are available, we've even broken it out by different kind of categories, right? I want to call them verticals, and it sounds really important.
Kinda.
That's what it is, yeah. Because there's like lifestyle, and then there's training, and then there's restaurants, things like that. Real estate has its own category.
That's awesome.
Because it's just tons of different possible real estate ones with .luxury, .real, .real estate, .realtor, all the different ones that are there.
Foreclosures.
That
would be a good one.
Right. Forward thinking. Yeah. Foreclosures. So in this particular example, if I was going to grab these and go with the running one, I could get .vacations, .training, .travel, .supplies, .shoes, .club, .community. Maybe it's just a club, so then I just end up with maybe training, club, and community. I could get any of those and put those in play. Now, before we move forward with this, there is a common question because people are concerned with they're concerned with copyright or trademark, right, in these situations. And so that people know, you can certainly go online, look for this. We've written about it in GoDaddy Garage, garage.godaddy.com. But there is a way to register a trademark. So if I have a company, I want to register a trademark to not prevent necessarily somebody else getting another domain name, but to make sure that they know, hey, I've got this. I've got a trademark on this. It's called the Trademark Clearinghouse. You can go online for a fee. You can register that name. Now, I also bring that up because many people in going and registering these new domain names, they get this idea like, oh, this will be really, really great. I'll get McDonald's.flight. Right? Yeah. Even to be funny. They're like, hey, watch this, right?
See what happens here.
Yeah, right. McDonald's Ninja. So they want to see what happens. When you go after something like, when you go to register a domain name like that, you've come up with the name of your business, or somebody else goes to put in the name of your business, and you register to the Trademark Clearinghouse. They get a notice, like there's a warning that comes up that says, hey, listen, just so you know, this has a trademark on it. Yeah. Right, like it will let it go through everything else, but you've been told, like you've been warned, like they may decide, and there may be litigation, maybe they come after their name, maybe something happens, but we just need to make sure you know.
Yeah, that's good. That's a newer feature too, because that wasn't there in the past, right?
No. So like if I go after like Coca-Cola training or something like that, I might run into some issues, which is great, which I think is important. It just lets people gives them warning. Yeah. They know what's going on with it.
When you said McDonald's.ninja, the only thing I thought of was somebody that set up that blog, and then they like wait for someone to leave their desk and put like a breakfast McDonald's sandwich on their desk, and then film the reaction when they come back. And like the McDonald's Ninja strikes again. And then that was it. That's the whole vlog.
Well, then I started picturing somebody that just takes your food from McDonald's. So you sit down, you're like, I'm gonna get a refill, and then you come back,
come
right?
by and it's gone.
It's gone. There's like a fortune cookie that's sitting there waiting for you when you
That's
come
awesome. Custom fortune cookie, so it has the blog name in it.
Yeah. So well, you take pictures of their food after you take it, right? Like you're outside, dressed up like a ninja, holding your friend's food.
Oh, that's too good.
I think that's great. All right, so that's it. You've got a name, right? You've got the name of your place set up. So, Cheer, you registered your domain name. That's going to be, anywhere from $10 to $20 typically. Wonderful. Now I want you to. That's day one. Register the name. Get it ready to go. Don't think about putting all the rest of the stuff together. Now go to bed.
Go to bed.
You're done. That's it. So, I don't know how fast it is for other people, but registering a domain name, like once you have the name, like once you know what you're going to name your place and getting the domain name, especially with these new endings, it's going to be like 20 minutes, right? Yeah, and you'll be excited. I think a lot of people think this is really, really difficult or rocket science. It's a piece of cake, right? Go to a.com, go there, get it set up, and you're done. All right, go to bed. Next step, the nerd step. Now this is great. Day two, set up email. Funny story about email. This is my daughter, and she, when I told her I was going to be talking about email, I said like, oh, day two, set up email. And she stops me, and she says, email is for old people. And I said, I can't wait till you go to college because you'll instantly become an old person when that happens. But listen, email is very, very important. It's still a primary means of communication. I was talking to another coworker, and it was in the billions, the number of business emails that go out every single day.
That's insane.
Back and forth. It's still an important means of communication. It's still a valuable way of marketing. And so it's important that you put some thought into that email address. So the example that I use, or the really popular examples when talking about this, are why can't I just use the same email that I've been using for the past 15 years. In some cases, it's 20 years now.
Yeah.
I've had this email address for 20 years. It's what everything comes into. It's what I've given to all of my contacts. They all have my information. And listen, I have these email addresses too. I have one of these right here that I've had for years and years and years. It's not going anywhere.
Yep.
I'm going to keep using it as my personal email address because I've had it for so long. But when you start something new, when you put together a business, you put together a nonprofit or something like that, your email gets, think about how many times your email address gets tossed around. So you end up putting it on business cards, you end up filling it out in forms online.
Yeah.
So you're on somebody else's website and you comment on their blog, right? You see something really great, you comment on the blog, you put your email address in there to verify you are who you say you are. At the end of that email address should be, my opinion, our opinion, should be your domain name.
Yeah.
Right.
Why give
the name of your business, right?
Companies?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We do it all the time where I see that domain name, I'm like, oh, there's a website. I automatically, even if there's not, I automatically assume, oh, they've got a website. I'm gonna go check it out. If it's all these other addresses, I don't know that. I don't know if they have something like that. If they have something like that set up. So here's a couple examples, right? If I start the running group and want to put that together, I've got I love to run 42@hotmail.com, or I could just have Sean at trailrunning.club, and that's it.
A lot better.
Oh, yeah, a clean, easy to see, something really great that I can put on a business card. Other people see that and they know instantly. Yeah. On the on the previous one, they know I love to run. Totally cool. That's good. That's not bad. On the next one, they know I'm Sean and I work for, or I lead, or I'm part of trailrunning.club.
Kind of gives you a more sense of seriousness too. I feel like people that have had the same Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo address for years. Sometimes you look at it and go, okay, so you've been using this since 8th grade, but you haven't bothered to set up a new one for your business.
I know.
Cool.
Yeah, they're like,
what kind of dedication are you putting towards this?
Right. Well, dedication, right? They're like, I'm dedicated to my email address. Yeah. And listen, I get it. It's It's a big deal because there's so much stuff that comes in through it.
Yeah.
Like we signed up for all of our social media networks. We signed up for everything that we do with these other email addresses. Well, the good news is you could just take this one, like take your new one, and you could forward to that one if you wanted to. It takes time to actually move between them both and do that stuff, but I promise you it is worth it, right, to get something like that set up and ready to go. Here's another example. I got Sean at trailrunning.club. Let's see, Sean P Funk 27. Yeah, which would tell you probably how old I was when I got that email address at gmail.com, or again, Sean at dirtrunning.guru. So many different options, much more powerful in getting somebody online with this. Easiest way in the world to get this. The easiest way. The reason, and I mentioned this before, that I think that it's so powerful, is because it instantly lets them know. You mentioned it. It's the credibility factor.
Yeah.
Right. It instantly lets them know that, hey, listen, there is an actual business out there or a nonprofit or something that's set up where I could go and see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because it's right there at the end. Now, of course, I'm telling everybody to do this. I'm telling you to do this day 2. So you've got one day to get the website up and running, so that one person you send an email to goes, oh, I'm gonna go look and see what they've got, right? But it's still it's one of the best ways to brand your business and one of the easiest steps to take to get set up.
Yeah. Also consistency too, because if you have that domain, you can set up as many email addresses as you want at that domain.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
If you stuck with all the free ones, then you'd be trying to guess different usernames that are available.
Right, because you have to have the unique usernames even for those, right?
Yep.
Now you can just come up with unique usernames for yourself. And so when people see that, there's a legitimacy. This is actually, I don't know if they've gone through with it yet, but there were rumors that Chrome, the web browser that tons of people use, and I love it. There are rumors that the address bar in Chrome was going to disappear. They were going to take the address. And for those of you who don't know, the address bar is like that bar up at the top where you would type in the HTTP : and go to the actual website. Well, if they removed that, then the question came up, well, how often does anybody even type in a domain name? Like, what's the relevancy if I never type it in, or if I always just go to Google? And the reason they were talking about removing it is because everybody just goes to the Google search box and copies and pastes a domain name in there. So if I sent the name of my website address to my dad, my dad would not copy and paste and put that up in the address bar. He would go to Google and he would paste it into Google.
Oh, wow.
And then it would come up. And they saw that was just a really, really common behavior.
Huh.
So people weren't typing out .guru or .club or .com even. They were just doing a search to try to find it. Well, with email, though, you're still going to type out. Like, you're still going to see. Like, we still do that all the time, where we see it on a business card and we type it out. That'll be that constant reminder. And so that comes back then to why naming your business is so important and coming up with that short, memorable name and one that works, right? Because you could come up with a goofy, clever name like Yelp. Yelp! Or Google or Yahoo or something like that. You could come up with that name, but then at the end, instead of it being the .com, somebody could instantly see, okay, I have no idea what this means, but photography, I know what that means.
Absolutely.
And so instantly they know who you are and what you're doing. We're going to see filters in our emails. It's going to be really exciting, I think, to see what people do next with this stuff. So a couple of more considerations when picking your email and putting it together. First one, make sure that you get an email account or an online office account that includes a calendar. Like, it's very inexpensive to do. It's very, very helpful. And then make sure that you get one or look for one that includes other means of communication besides email.
Okay.
Because there's so many powerful ones that are out there right now that you can use that with.
So what do you mean? Give us an example.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So I'll give you 2 different examples. One of them is Office 365. So Microsoft Office 365. When you go into the email in Microsoft Office 365, it feels a little bit like Hotmail.
Okay.
Right? It feels very comfortable. I can take it. I can hook it up with Outlook on my computer. So many small business owners, people that start nonprofits, they either have Outlook on their computer, or they used to work for a business where they had Outlook. And when they had that at the other place, You could see other people's calendars, and you could schedule meetings with people, and it would send an invitation, and then it would record it. Like all of those types of features that they're used to,
Yeah.
you can get, and you can get very, like, it's very, very inexpensive to get, and they're very, very powerful. Now, the second piece, this communication piece, where you can communicate not using email. You can do it with Office 365 with a program called Link. It's like Instant Messenger. We used to have like the AOL Instant Messenger, and we'd use that type of stuff. All of that has been, now you can do it on your, so I can do it on my mobile device.
I do it on my phone too.
I could do it on my computer, and then I can just send those quick messages to somebody. So instead of drafting out the entire email, I've got an employee, I've got a partner, I've got a family member that does work for me. They're out in the field, they're at the store, something's going on, and I can send those messages. And then I can save them. Like, I know what's going on. I've got a recording of what's going on for my business. And so you can get those with Office 365, and then there are other places online where you can find the exact same thing. Like most of the places where you're going to get email and get an email package put together, you can get all of those things put in there. So you can get storage for your files, like Dropbox, something like that. Yeah. You could get that with Office 365. You could get then email, just great world-class email that's always up, always working. A calendar so that you can manage your time. Tasks, you could go in there and have reminders and things like that. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, don't go with just bare bones email.
Yeah.
Like, go with something that you just assume I'm going to be able to grow this. Like, I'm going to operate like a normal business. It's going to be more than just basic flat email.
You don't want to get 4 months down the line and have to upgrade or change.
Yeah, because you'll see it, you'll be like, hey, how did you get that really cool calendar stuff?
Yeah. And
then you're like, I'm going to have to change everything, right, and switch it over. And so the big one, obviously, Office 365 that we use and we provide for our customers. We've got a great deal going on with that right now. There's also Google, Gmail, those different places out there have something similar. Like, look around. Like, whatever's going to work for you will work for you. That's great. I mean, I've got to be honest. I'm hoping you go with Office 365 and work with us, but just make sure that you get those things in play.
Yeah.
Now, congratulations. You're done. You've got then the final one in play. Now for the end of day 2, send somebody an email. Like, I don't care who it is, but you will feel amazing, and you will totally shock whoever it is that you send the email to. I know that if I sent an email to my mom that said, Sean at dirtrunning.guru or something, she'd go, he's starting something, right? Like, whatever it is, she'd be impressed, she'd be excited. And I'd be impressed and be excited as well to be able to take that next step. And then get some rest. Because we got a big day on day 3. This is the big one. Publish your website. All right, so I get it. The website part is freaky, right? Like, I don't know. Like, do you do a lot of websites? Do you still?
I do, yeah, a little bit, not like a ton, but I mess around with WordPress blogs every now and then.
Yeah, like it's like I remember the first one that I did, and it was bad.
I think everybody's first one kind of has a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was bad in retrospect.
Yeah.
Meaning, I looked back on it after it had evolved, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I remember just getting it live. It was effective. Yeah. I got traffic to it. I had visitors. I had comments. I had people coming through on it. And I think the thing that I learned the most when I did it was that this is not rocket science. Like, this is not that difficult putting this together.
Yeah.
Because I didn't learn hardcore code and everything else to do my very first website. I kept it really, really, really simple. Really simple. It was a one-page website, not that big of a deal.
The idea of it's more scary than the actual
It
process.
is, like, once you sit down and once you put it together. Yeah. And that's the thing that we're stressing today, because the day 3, putting together your website, I should even rename it, because it should be day 3, putting together your homepage. Because I'm only interested in one page for your website. And so the most important part of that is to just keep it really, really, really simple. It could be something as simple as this. It really could. Because, listen, you put your domain name on your business card, by just putting your email address on your business card, now you need to make sure that if somebody comes to the site, that they're going to see whatever it is that you want them to see. Like if this is what we call the call to action, right? You're going to have the call to action on that landing page that says, hey, I need an amazing nanny. My name's Esther Poppins.
I was going to say something about that. I like your play on that.
Esther, I always want to say that last name, Poppins. So Esther Poppins, give me a call. And so the call to action on this one, just give me a call. Like, I don't have a fancy form set up yet. I don't have my prices set up yet. I don't have all these different things set up yet.
Just established your core online presence.
This is all that I need right now. Just get this up and get it live. Because the best thing about websites, web pages, anything that you publish online, is that you can change it. And you can change it tomorrow. You could change it 5 minutes from now. You could change it whenever you want. And so starting small like that means that you have room to move. You have room to grow.
Yeah.
So Esther Poppins, this one's really, really simple. Then what you could do, this is the call to action on it, right? Is I need an amazing nanny, throw a picture on it, then, is your next thing to do. So very, very, very simple. Put it up and that's it. Now the other thing that I cruised past really quick were the different options that you have in putting these things together. So I have what we call a DIY newbie, DIY techie, and then do it for me. Look, I'm getting notifications. But it's CJ, so it's cool.
It's okay.
Right. DIY newbie, DIY techie, and then do it for me. So the DIY newbie in this particular case is it's website builders, and that's what we're going to talk about. DIY techie, listen, I would throw WordPress in here.
Okay.
It's a do-it-yourself, but if you want to make any big changes to it, you got to know what you're doing, right? You got to know what you're doing, and then do it for me. You could pay somebody to do it. In these cases, I like, and what we're talking about today. Again, I really think you could just do it yourself and put it together. Another example, like Good Messy Burgers, put an egg on it.
I love
hey,
eggs
now
and
listen,
burgers.
I know. Great name for a business that probably already exists. So if anybody starts a business and they call it Put an Egg on It, please send us samples or something delicious.
There's a good one pretty locally I heard about the other day, like Rehab Burger Therapy. And it's supposed to be phenomenal burger.
Rehab Burger Therapy. Yeah. Did they put eggs on it?
They do. They have one with an egg on it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, put an egg on it.
It's called the Hangover Burger, actually. They put sriracha, the egg on it. They also have one with peanut butter and jelly on it. They have all sorts of different ones. It's crazy. Burgers are getting crazy.
Burgers are the new cupcakes.
Yep.
Yeah. Put an egg on it. But same thing. And this one, the call to action on my put an egg on it idea is just putting the actual address, right? 1234 Main Street, any town. Now it doesn't say specifically a verb on there, but basically what are they saying? Stop by.
Yep.
Like that's it. Like Good Messy Burgers, they have a picture of their burger, put an egg on it. That's it. Just get that page up and running. Do-it-yourself solutions that are out there. The GoDaddy website builder, my favorite. My favorite, legitimately, not just hey, I work at GoDaddy.
Yeah.
It's just a really great website builder. It's like using PowerPoint to put things together. But there's a lot of other ones out there that other people have used. The options that are available for other people to get this up and running.
Yep.
And then the reason why I'm listing like all of them out there is seriously, I just want you to get that one page live.
I just want to help you get your business going.
Just play with it, get something up and going, and don't overcomplicate it. You're going to see tons and tons of different options, different ideas, different plugins, different things you can put on there. If you're like me, where we kind of got like this culture of going app crazy, right? You hear about a new app, and you're like, oh, I'm totally installing that.
Yeah.
Right. I think I've owned at least 25, 30 different task management apps, which probably says something horrible about my personality as well. But instead of just going, I'm just going to use the one app, because they all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Put your task in, and then cross it off when you're done.
Yep.
Right? That's it. Don't get caught up in that when it comes to just getting the website live. Just the first page. Just get that live. Give yourself some space to be just cool with something simple. And just keep it very, 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 very simple to get that website live. And then once you're done, take that website and you're going to promote it everywhere. Put it on your business cards, post it on Facebook, make a bumper sticker, menus, business listings. Get a tattoo. It could be temporary if you want.
I would recommend temporary to start. Yeah.
Right, because it might not. You know what? Maybe if you got a permanent one, you would increase your chances.
That's motivation. I'm just saying. That's definitely motivation.
Dirtrunning.guru
Yeah.
on my
So you wouldn't want to explain that to everybody. Oh, it was a site I did start.
Yeah, it was.
You know.
That's right. I'm out $12 and a tattoo
Yeah.
on my arm. But seriously, like tell everybody about it. Make sure that people know about it. Especially, and I put on there specifically. We won't go into a lot of detail about it. We have in past webinars. We will in future ones. But make sure you add it to, like, claim your business listings and add it to your business listings. We have a product that helps you do that called Get Found. But even if you just go onto Google, onto Yelp, we should just say it like that moving forward every time it comes up.
Add a little pitch to it.
Yeah,
like
every time you go on Yelp. But claim those listings, get your domain name on there. And the reason why definitely getting the website on there is because it just, again, adds legitimacy, right? If I go to Yelp, if I go to a business listing site and I see that, I'm happy with it.
I saw that you had billboards on there.
Yeah.
A little bit old school, I feel, but I heard they're making a comeback recently. There's a proposal in a few states to turn billboards into also homeless housing. So homeless housing will be there, and then the billboards on the side of it.
Because it would pay for the housing itself.
Yeah.
All right. That's very, like, Minority Report cool.
Yeah.
Like the technology you see, you're like,
Yeah.
I see what you're doing there. No, I think there's always going to be that resurgence. So anything, there's always this. So back up. All the cool internet-y stuff that we do. So social media is a great example, or ads, banners, partnerships, things like that we do online. They all equate into some way with the real world.
Yeah.
And so your website really is that billboard. We've put a lot of effort into it, and we've been focusing on it. There's some businesses that are really, really, really successful that have never had a website. They just do billboards and newspapers, and then they get out and they're great.
Yeah.
They do great things. Now, I think that they could at least maintain or keep the business they've got by getting a website and showing up on people's mobile devices and things like that. But don't forget about those really great traditional ways to advertise your business and to spread the word, make sure that people know what you're doing. Listen, business cards are on there as well.
Yes.
And if anybody who knows me and has met me at conferences knows that I am horrible with business cards and I'm always forgetting them and always forgetting to do it, but they're amazing because I leave a conference or after I met somebody, I'm horrible with names. I don't remember. I remember faces. I remember stories. But then I get home and what do? Like, I connect with them on LinkedIn. I'll go to their website. I'll check out what they're doing. I'll tweet about their website if I think that it's really cool and there's great things going on. But it's because I have their business card. Because there's no other way that I'm going to remember all of that stuff to be able to move forward.
So, let me ask you this question. Does a unique business card stand out to you more?
I think so. What about you?
I think so. Some of the ones that are a little more interactive, like I've had to build a business card before. I thought that was pretty cool because then I still kept it on my desk because I had to build it. And it's just a little trophy. I was like, all right, that thing's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, right? I saw somebody use brownies for a business card.
How did that work?
Well, I don't know because you ate them when you were done. All you remembered was that their brownies were business cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was a baking company or something.
So bizarre. Yeah. I have seen there are the new ones that you use your mobile device and you'll scan the base of the business card, like you'll hold it up using your camera, and then something will pop out of the bottom of the card and do like this sort of hologram that you can see through your camera.
That's interesting.
That's really crazy,
That's
right?
Really cool.
That you could do that and then have the person's head pop up and start talking to you while you're looking at it going, how'd you do that, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, really cool things. They do stand out.
Pretty crazy. I remember some people back in the day even had, when we used them, I don't use them anymore, but CDs. They had CD business cards.
Oh, I do remember those. Yeah,
so
yeah.
Like still cut in a rectangle and it had the round edge on the part of it, but you pop it in your
We
computer.
should bring back the cassette tape. Business card. Well, I've seen one where it's a cassette tape and it's a USB drive.
Oh, that's cool.
Right, so it looks cool, and then you could put files on it or something like that and hand it to somebody. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That is cool. It is cool. All right, so you're done. Okay, so that's day 3. Keep it simple. Use these things. Just get one page live. That's what you want to get set up and running. Go to bed. and you're done. So really, where we're going, like seriously, folks, we took the first 3 steps. Like, it's true. Like, it's still going to be a slog. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we have to do in order to be successful. But we took the first 3 steps, and we're moving forward. So for quick reference, a couple of really cool places I would like to send people that cover this information in more depth, and there's more information about this. Garage.godaddy.com is our blog where we promote these webinars, and we also talk about these same concepts and go into a little bit more detail. GoDaddyTrainingHub.com is also a place to learn more about GoDaddy products and services and how to use them. There's some great material there, and that's where we also promote our material as well. And so with that, thanks. I mean, thanks for the time. We can open up. Do we have time for some? We do have some time for some questions.
Yeah, we started a little late. I wouldn't see why not. So if anybody does have any questions, I know I haven't seen any pop up yet, but feel free to comment on there, throw something out there, even if it's just a comment and not a question.
Yeah,
Definitely read that out as well.
But yeah, they could be mean if you'd like. Might as well. You could just comment on Colby's green shirt.
I did go with the GoDaddy green today.
You did go with the GoDaddy green,
I
and I wore white because I wore black last time.
I have an orange polo over there. I almost made you wear it. I didn't. I was nice.
Oh, we could be Wonder Twins. Yeah. Form of a sled. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. Other than that, just give you guys a heads up, we do have a Hangout coming up on October 1st, and it's about finance. So if you're looking how to fund your small business, get the financing options on that, Meredith Wood from Fundera is going to be on, and she's going to be talking about all those different options. So feel free to bring your questions on financing and how to get going there in that aspect, because that's a whole different beast.
Oh, whole different beast. Yeah,
absolutely.
no, totally. Yeah, I keep just talking about the things that are like, hey, this is $12, go for it. But I want to see people. I want to see people grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to need that other stuff. What was the first small business that you kind of played around with and started with? Like freelance stuff? Or
yeah,
was
it was freelance stuff. It was like computer repair. So before I started GoDaddy, I did like computer
repair.
Believe it or not, I worked at the Geek Squad and I drove a little bug around, and then on the side I had my own like repair business as well.
No way.
Yep, absolutely.
Do you still build your own computers?
No, I help my little brother. He does it sometimes, but I don't personally do it anymore.
Yeah, my son is desperately wanting to build his own computer.
They're pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good process and good skill to learn. I feel like just being able to take apart one and put it together.
So if he were to say to me, and he won't see this, so it's okay. If he were to say to me, hey, Dad, I'd like to build my own computer because I would really like to understand mechanical engineering and how things work together, something like that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, here's $500. Like, go for it, kid.
Yeah.
But I know why he wants to build his own computer. Yeah. Probably to hide somewhere and play Minecraft at length over and over and over again. Yeah. Which is cool, too.
Yeah.
Like, I like Minecraft.
Minecraft's a good game.
It's a good game. So he's going to build a computer to build other things on the internet.
That's true. It's like, I think Susie said it best the other day. It's like online Legos almost.
It is.
Yeah.
It is like that.
So, cool.
Cool.
Looks like we might have had one comment come in. Janie, let's see. You had to go with a long name for a business and URL. I use caps to help people get it. acousticswithdesign.com. What do you think? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely do it. Like, it doesn't matter if they type in the caps or not, but absolutely do that.
And I'm a fan of camel casing too. I know other people aren't. I get yelled at it for it quite often actually, but I think camel casing's all right.
Yeah, and if you look at, well, even what we do, and ours isn't really that long.
Yeah.
GoDaddy, but we camel case all the time for the same reason.
Yep.
So that people can get it. Wait, what is it? acousticswithdesign.com. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Legit. I think that's really cool.
It's definitely there. I'll put it up there so everybody can kind of see it real quick.
acousticswithdesign.com. I want to check it out.
There it is. All right, Janie, thank you for commenting. Give you a little shout out there. But I think that's it. So we'll wrap up, and until next time, like I said, watch our Google Plus page for our upcoming Hangouts, and as always, Sean, thanks for presenting.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thanks, everybody.
See you later.
We'll see you.